monastery, deep in the Oregon forest, stands like a forgotten relic, its stone walls smothered by a thick, coiling fog, as if the earth itself has wrapped its arms around it, protecting it from the passage of time. The air is heavy with secrets, thick with centuries of dust and whispers. Each breath feels like inhaling history. The bell tolls, deep, mournful, its echo reverberating through the trees, shuddering the earth. It's a sound that cuts through the stillness, like an old wound reopening. The wind stirs, unnerving, alive, carrying with it an ancient memory. It whispers in a tongue that belongs to the dead, curling through the trees and pressing against the stone like a plea, like a warning. And then, utter silence, a stillness so complete, it feels as though the world itself has stopped spinning. Inside the monastery, the dining hall is dim, the flickering flames of candles casting long, jagged shadows across the stone walls. The smell of damp wood and incense lingers in the air, mingling with something older, something unsettling. The 12 monks sit hunched over their bowls, eating in mechanical silence, their every movement as synchronized and empty as a ritual. Their hands tremble, but not from hunger, from something deeper, something that cannot be named. At the far end of the hall, a girl sits motionless. Her skin is pale, almost translucent, as if life itself has abandoned her. Her bowl of soup lies untouched, the liquid congealing in the cold air. But it's not her stillness that makes the monks uneasy. It's the way she sits, like she's not truly there, like something else is waiting behind her eyes. One monk's hand shakes as he stirs his soup. His gaze never leaves her, and his eyes are wide, full of dread, full of something darker than fear. She moved, he whispers, barely able to keep his voice steady. Another leans in, his face pale, breath shallow. What do you mean? She moved. I swear, she moved. This time her fingers twitched. I saw it. She's waking up, isn't she? No, the first monk says, voice trembling. She's remembering. The words hang in the air, a cold weight pressing down on the room. The girl's fingers twitch again, a subtle motion, but enough to send a ripple of fear through the room. It's not just a twitch. It's as if she's hearing something they can't. Later, in the chapel, moonlight fractures through stained glass, casting jagged patterns of color on the stone floor. The wind stirs the ancient tapestries, making them twist like restless spirits. The girl kneels in the center, her hands moving in desperate sign language. She is pleading with something unseen, something ancient. Her lips tremble as though trying to speak, but no sound escapes. Her throat is choked with the weight of unspoken words. Suddenly, her hand freezes mid-gesture. She stares at something in the mirror before her, but it's not just the reflection of her face she sees. There's something else, something behind her, a corridor, stretching endlessly into darkness. But this passage isn't here, not in this chapel. The reflection is showing her something that shouldn't be. She spins around, heart pounding, but there's nothing behind her, just cold stone and shadows. She turns back to the mirror. The corridor remains, its darkness alive with something that feels familiar, unsettling. Her breath catches as something shifts in the reflection, a presence, a whisper. It's ancient, and it chills her to the bone. We are not what they made us. The mirror cracks. Shards fly across the floor, each piece a jagged scream against the silence. The girl stumbles back, heart pounding, the world spinning around her. The stillness, once comforting, now feels suffocating, an oppressive weight, like the world itself is holding its breath. The next morning, the monks gather in the dining hall, their faces pale and drawn, eyes sunken from sleepless nights spent haunted by what they've seen and what they've failed to confront. The air is thick with unspoken terror. One monk stands at the front of the room, his hands trembling as they grip the edge of the table, his voice unsteady as he speaks. We should have told her. We should have told her sooner. The oldest monk, sitting at the head of the table, doesn't meet his eyes. His face is hollow, aged with guilt, a burden of secrets too heavy to carry. Silence was mercy, he says, his voice distant, cold. No, another voice cracks. Silence was fear. She remembers. She's dreaming of Serena. This isn't coincidence. The oldest monk finally looks up, his eyes dull with the weight of years. An invitation, he whispers, almost to himself. Or a reckoning. A younger monk, voice quivering, murmurs, she's not the cause. She's the echo. The room falls silent, the words hanging heavy, a truth that no one wants to face. That night, the girl descends into the undercroft, her candle flickering, casting long shadows against the cold stone walls. The air here is different, alive, almost as if something stirs beneath the earth, waiting. Her fingers brush against the wall, and for a moment, she feels it. A pulse, a low hum that vibrates through her fingertips like a heartbeat, steady and unyielding, but the warmth of the wall feels wrong, like the pulse of something that shouldn't be alive. She closes her eyes, the words from the mirror repeating in her mind, "We are not what they made us." She presses her palm harder against the stone, and it ripples beneath her touch. Like water, a tremor runs through her, a shiver down her spine, and she gasps. The energy around her thickens, suffocating, suffused with a power she cannot understand, but feels deep in her bones. The next morning, the monks gather again in the chapel, their faces pale with terror. They find her standing at the center, her feet bloodied, the blood pooling around her like a halo. Her eyes glow with an unnatural intensity, bright, piercing, as if they hold the weight of centuries. She no longer looks like the girl they knew. She is something else now, something beyond time. The oldest monk steps forward, his voice trembling. Barely a whisper. "What did you see?" She turns to him, her gaze piercing through him. She is not a girl anymore. She is something ancient, something eternal. "You buried her," she says, her voice cold, unwavering. The room falls deathly silent. One monk, barely audible, gasps, "Serena!" The floor beneath them cracks open. The stench of decay rises, thick and suffocating. Bones spill out, white and brittle, their hollow eyes staring into the void. A tattered, stained dress falls from the earth, settling over a half-buried stone. The words etched into the stone are faint, but legible. "Serena." The girl stands over the stone, her expression cold, final. "You told me silence was holy," she says, voice almost gentle, but the weight of her words is like an executioner's axe. But silence is the tomb cowards dig around truth. The smoke from the shattered windows rises, spiraling into the morning mist. The bells that once tolled with doom now hang mute, their voices lost to time. The monastery, once a place of refuge, is no more. It is a tomb, a cage for secrets that have festered too long. The girl steps barefoot into the trees, the fog lifting around her like the earth exhaling a long-held breath. She is a silhouette against the rising sun, a quiet storm of power. Her voice is soft but unyielding, riding the wind as it whispers to the world. "Your voice isn't a weapon," she whispers. "It's a key, and even the heaviest doors can't hold truth forever." As the sun breaks through the fog, the silence shatters, and the truth, at last, begins to speak.